tadi kita sembang pasal apa budak-budak umur 16 17 ni yang being misunderstood kan. And then you normally you open up to them lah kan. So I mean perhaps maybe you can share with us lah. Contoh kalau Cikgu Min kata to the teachers out there, how best actually that they could. Sometimes maybe they when they listen to you and everything they become very overwhelming kot, takut dia nak macam like reforming everything. So how do you do like at one step at a time? Macam mana what would be the best possible way that these teachers can somehow be like you, or maybe becoming a better teacher for our children?
Okay. So I say it goes with the motto of my school. Motto of my school says Sapienta et Caritas, which means wisdom and love. So I think first and foremost kita kena ada ilmu. So ilmu tu it comes in many form. So like for me, because I love to read, and it so happened that whatever I read tu, I felt that my life macam Slumdog Millionaire macam cerita. I mean if you watch Slumdog Millionaire macam cerita, dia boleh jawab semua soalan tu because of everything yang berlaku dalam hidup dia kena. So macam I said that okay, I got inspiration to do the activity with the lorry because I read about it. So I felt that when you read sebenarnya you orang kata apa, memang you have to put yourself, the character of a teacher tu all the time. Tak boleh ada macam 7 to 3 je I'm a teacher, so the rest of the day kan I'm a different person. Because once you're a teacher, memang you're a teacher for life. Betul. Mati pun orang panggil kubur cikgu kan? Orang tak kata kubur so and so kan, dia akan sebut juga cikgu tu, perkataan cikgu tu. So orang tak kenal you dengan nama, orang akan sebut arwah cikgu juga. So the title of the teacher tu is very powerful. Betul. So if you embrace that, so that then you tahulah every time you read ataupun you macam scroll Instagram, Twitter dan sebagainya, the teaching cap tu mesti ada. Dan pencari ilmu tu macam you don't have to read macam scholarly books. To me it doesn't work that way for me lah. So things that happen around me, things that happen in the world, and things that I talk to other people yang became my scholarly.
It's more towards like experiential
learning, correct. Okay, so bila kita cerita macam itulah movie Slumdog Millionaire tu, it's more relatable. And once you ada ilmu, the next thing is you cannot macam ada barrier dengan student tu in the sense that the love for student tu kena ada. You kena create that situation. You tak boleh kata macam no, I'm a teacher, I just pergi kelas balik kelas and you're just my student je.
The way the perception of you towards the students tu very important.
You kena anggap dia macam okay, this is your charge. You like it or you don't like it, this is your charge. And orang yang you kena damping for 2 years contoh, ataupun 3 years contoh. So macam you kena build that rapport, that you kena build a relationship with them. And you kena terima juga that after habis sekolah they will fly away. And you tak boleh stay in the situation where harapkan they come back and stuff like that. Semua tak boleh. Tapi you kena build that relationship within that 2 years. Sebab kalau you tak build a relationship, macam mana you nak ajar? And macam mana dia nak dengar? That's why I started hiking activity, makan. Macam orang kata apa, belanja student makan. It doesn't have to be macam benda yang
fancy sangat kan.
Fancy, tak perlu benda yang mahal pun kan. So it has to be something yang relatable. Sebab student nowadays kalau macam kita bagi pen ke apa semua, kadang kita rasa macam okay, maybe it's a gesture yang mungkin murah ataupun macam mungkin student tak hargai, tapi it's a thought that counts. Tapi sebab I am fortunate because I teach boys, makanan is number one. So
yelah, to me umur 16-17 memang
makan tengah kuat kan. So anything relatable to food, jalan. So that's one way. And then bila kita buat macam outing activity, hiking ke apa semua, so those are the, orang kata apa, macam nampak macam sacrifices, tapi sebenarnya bukan sacrifices, because you are building relationship. Sebab kalau tak build relationship, tak boleh ajar. Memang tak boleh. Orang pun tak akan dengar kan. Macam it's just macam kita pergi conference, kita cakap, orang pretend to hear, just orang kata apa, for the sake of being there. Berapa orang je yang akan betul-betul dengar and get what you're trying to say kan. So nak, and then kita expect student tu dengar apa kita cakap dan nak muntahkan balik dalam exam. Memang impossible. So the building relationship is very important.
I see.
Between you and the students.
Okay.
To me lah.
Don, ada question? Last one?
Last one. Okay, last one question. Sebab Cikgu Min kan ajar sekolah lelaki. Sepanjang mengajar ni, did you face any, challenges, masalah yang paling besar yang memberi impak dalam career Cikgu Min sebagai cikgu lah?
Negatif ke positif ni?
Both.
Okay.
If you
Kalau positif tu dari segi the students punya influence on the activities I do. Sebab like I said earlier, I gave them chance. So bila kita bagi chance, contoh macam I have a module, I take into account bila student bagi feedback. Mula-mula when I did my module tu back in 2007 sampai sekarang dah 2020 kan, 1920. So because last year I was the last year I revised the book. So every year student akan bagi feedback. Dulu dia orang cakap cikgu font ni tak best. Cikgu tukarlah font ni. Cikgu jarakkan sikit benda ni kan. So you know when you give the liberty to the students to actually tell their views, so you learn a lot from them. So I rasa macam I learn so much from my student. And especially bila during PKP ni we did a lot of macam filming kan. And I saw how my students set up lighting apa semua macam pro. I was thinking kan, bila dia orang belajar semua ni? And you know macam kat sekolah zaman time bila? Tapi dia orang macam cakap, this is just macam natural, macam benda yang orang kata macam makanan. So you know kalau you nak nampak muka you comel, mesti ada light from this angle, that angle. But still dia orang tengah mengajar you.
Yeah.
You know, so those are the orang kata macam powerful impact that they have on my life. And bila I nak join competitions kan yang perlu tulis essay, so instead of giving professionals to check, I give my student. Dia check. I cakap dia orang, apa dapat A+ English apa tak boleh check cikgu punya kerja. Kita bakar sikit ayat kan. But they do. And they are one of the best.
And
dia orang kata that age kan, dia orang tengah pick up vocabulary, dia orang tengah pick up grammar.
It's a learning for them as well kan. Tapi memang it's good lah because you give a sense of ownership.
Yes. Lepas tu claim, mesti bagi dia orang macam satu disclaimer. Okay, my students' effort kan ada dalam this project ataupun this orang kata apa production. Memang ada. And bila pergi hiking, I tak buat apa-apa. Macam I cuma my job is to scout the area. Lepas tu prepare the letters. The rest daripada kumpul duit, daripada orang kata apa assemble the student, check equipment, semua senior, semua student.
Bagus lah.
Tapi kita kena pantau lah. Of course kita check, tapi bila you give them the sense of authority, that's where they learn and that's where you learn. And you tengok macam mana they handle the situation, macam mana the students handle without any stress. You pun tak stress, dia pun tak stress, dia suka buat tu. So
kalau some of them they have the talent kan, they
do. Oh my god, that's why I say 16, 17 the most misunderstood year. Tapi sebenarnya dia orang punya bukan setakat talent lagi dah, dia orang punya leadership quality was superb. Because that is the age kan, macam yang 16 nak 17 nak keluar ke sekolah. So masing-masing they're not trying pun to overcome each other punya ability, tapi they are working collectively and they're so wonderful to see that. So I gain satisfaction from seeing that. Macam it gives a smile to me every time bila I nampak macam they can handle the situation. And I had this activity, I went hiking 2017, masa tu hujan. So we wanted to climb up. So masa nak climb up tu, because cikgu yang pergi pula perempuan dua orang. Tak ada cikgu lelaki masa tu yang free nak pergi. So we brought 30 students and masa tu scouts lah, yang half of the student tu kebetulan scouts. So bila kita orang ni dah tak boleh nak panjat sebab masa hujan tu air turun dan jalan tu dah macam dah licin kan. So kita pun tengah fikir macam mana aku nak panjat turun, boleh tadi sekarang nak panjat tak boleh. So what happened was that these scout boys ni boleh fikir dalam hujan tu, they start to build human bridge. They start to build the human bridge and then they pull us up. Dua-dua cikgu ni. And then they themselves pull themselves up and they build a very strong macam foundation. Dia start terus. Tak ada cakap apa-apa dalam hujan tu. I pun macam shock tengok. Then I was like, when did you learn all this? Macam mana you boleh terfikir, suddenly macam seorang start dan semua orang start buat the tangga-tangga and then start buat and pull the teachers up.
I think those are the things yang traits yang kita nak cari. A problem solver, somebody. Sebab because these particular students, our children ni will face an unknown problem in the future. So whenever that they have these particular skills, they can just simply
terus
buat je kan.
Terus start without thinking. There was another hiking activity. We went in hutan. My group tu dah habis makanan dan minuman sebab another group kita dah pass kita punya makanan and end up kita punya habis. And then rupanya bila kita sampai ke one checkpoint, tengok ada makanan dengan minuman ditinggalkan. Rupanya student yang depan tu dah tahu dah. Okay, ni cikgu punya group, dia lambat. Dia punya makanan dah habis. Kita tinggal dan letak macam daun, macam ada pula tanda-tanda pula kat situ yang kita boleh recognize. All these things kita tak ajar dalam kelas. But these are survival skills yang happen pada masa tu, and for them to actually do that, it was wonderful. And there was one more. This one I had to share. Masa kita nak panjat tu, kebetulan ada satu balak tu jatuh. So balak tu memang besar sampai saya punya kepala pun kecil besar ni je berbanding dengan balak. I still have the picture. So what happened is that when balak tu jatuh, it was previous day macam tu. So bila balak tu jatuh, dia bawa macam tanah apa semua. So you do not know tanah mana you pijak, you akan jatuh ke bawah. And then masa tu I dah macam dah meraung dah sebab I macam memang tak boleh panjat dah. Nak turun pun tak boleh, nak pergi macam mana kan. Tapi I have 2 brave student yang bukan setakat dia tarik I naik atas balak tu, dia siap step lagi. Okay, cikgu tak boleh lalu sini. Okay, cikgu tak boleh lalu sini. This is, I was like, lepas tu macam crying because thinking that anything happen to my 2 boys ni kan, habislah aku dengan dia orang kan. Tapi they were so brave, okay, in the sense that, we need to save our teacher. So the role of teacher, nurturing the student tu dah hilang dalam hutan tu, where, the student terus take the responsibility nak jaga 2 orang cikgu perempuan ni. So
macam yang lain semua lelaki kan.
Tapi in a way kan, you macam dah inculcate the orang kata apa, dalam dunia lelaki, dia orang yang 100% lelaki kat sekolah ni, you bagi dia peluang untuk jadi macam pelindung pada perempuan, and you bagi dia peluang untuk jadi macam orang yang boleh solve the problem. So that's powerful lah. To me that's the most powerful.
I was impressed.
Tapi itulah, kalau tak berani buat aktiviti macam ni, kita tak ada story to tell. Dan kita tak ada orang kata apa, tak ada inspiring orang kata apa, moments yang kita boleh share to live to tell the story. Betul. Tapi it's not all bed of roses. Kita ada juga student yang macam along the way mesti ada student yang resent you for various reasons lah. Basically because somehow ada student yang dia tak boleh terima cara kita kan, dan kita pun tak boleh terima cara dia. So tapi I take it as part and parcel of life lah.
Ada sampai complain kat parents ke apa semua ada?
Tak ada. Complain to parents tu so far rasa tak ada lah.
Tak adalah parents datang serang ke apa belum lagi lah.
Tak ada.
Not in kimia class lah.
Parents serang tak ada lah. Tapi parents call tanya, then sebab kita selalu boleh explain kan, tanya ada lah, yang tu ada, tapi orang kata macam bukan something yang significant. Dan kita take it as part and parcel of life lah.
And then student yang kata resent you tu memang it takes forever ke throughout those 2 years ke that
no, dia macam resent pada certain period je lah. Dan lepas tu bila kita dah boleh talk sense into them, sebab different student different macam penerimaan, dan sometimes mungkin pada masa kita marah dia dan sebagainya tu is a time when dia face difficulties in life, tapi kita tak tahu dan dia pun tak cerita. So sometimes ada miscommunication. So it's not 100% bed of roses juga. Okay, tapi these are what makes you stronger and what makes you more alert to students' needs.
Yeah, right. Wonderful. Banyak hari ni memang, memang puas lah. Memang makanan lah tu kan.
Makan apa lah.
Tak lah, memang this is something that we really look forward lah. Thank you very much pada cikgu Yasmin.
Thank you very much Cikgu Min.
Okay, thank you. Thank you sebab jemput saya.
Akhirnya Cikgu Min datang juga.
Sebab I don't know whether have you shared this kind of stories ke semua, mungkin
ada,
various
tapi
occasion lah.
bukan santai macam ni. Dan orang orang kata apa, the and the story revolve daripada zaman saya. Wang Burma yang tu memang tak pernah cerita. Yang tu tak pernah cerita. Dan macam mana the resentment towards hiking sekarang jadi macam satu aktiviti yang saya suka. At this age pula tu rasa macam kelakar.
Dekat
tapi
mana?
Macam,
Cikgu Min selalu pergi hiking.
belakang sekolah tu je lah.
Sekolah.
Still not too late, right?
Bukit Kasing is actually
Jom,
challenging
jom.
juga.
Boleh.
Bukit Kasing tu boleh tahan lah challenging dia. Then other places yang we always go is Angsi, Gunung Angsi. Angsi I think I've been there 6 kali dah.
Wow.
Tapi merangkak lah juga. Bukanlah macam naik-naik terus boleh sampai kan. Berjam-jam lah juga.
I think that's very very good punya ni lah. So terus saya fikir lepas ni mungkin kita kena ada slot juga untuk cikgu-cikgu ada wira ni kan. Kita kena lepas ni I think
okay.
get the connect.
Before that kan, dekat Malaysia ni kan dah ramai macam Cikgu Min kan yang dapat award apa tu.
Ada 9 orang kan?
9 orang.
Ya, untuk Global Teacher Prize ada 9 orang termasuk Dr. Mandanjit lah. Tapi Dr. Mandanjit sekarang dia di Timor Leste rasanya.
Nanti mai sekolah Malaysia ya.
Nantilah kita jemput lah, kita datang. We get the,
dia punya pengalaman lagi powerful. Saya boleh share sikit lah kisah dia. Dia punya konsep sekolah ialah seorang murid lelaki masuk sekolah, seorang murid perempuan pun mesti masuk juga.
Okay.
Dia sekolah dia cuma ajar 4 subjek. Masa yang dia mula dululah. Dia ajar English. Sebab dia kata English is a language of the world.
Like you said before.
Like I said before, yeah. And dia pun cakap kat saya juga, dia kata one of the reason why saya boleh bercakap and successful untuk talk on international level is because of my English. So that level kita maintain. And then maths. Sebab dia kata you tak boleh jadi bodoh. You kena tahu maths. Okay. Then IT. Okay, IT. Bukan kita nak kata siapa yang tak pandai maths tu tak cerdik atau bodoh, tapi sebenarnya pengetahuan maths ni is luas.
Betul.
And you use it in so many ways. Cuma you tak tahu bila je.
In real life.
At least you tak kena tipu dengan skema.
Ya, betul. Tak kena tipu kan. Macam there's a lot of ways, tapi bukan maths dari segi macam maths yang high class lah kan.
Bukan maths
macam
DY
macam tu. Bukan tu. Orang kata macam
semua.
basic mathematics mesti kena ada. And then dia ajar IT. Sebab dia kata pengetahuan komputer ni memang you have to know. And then last kali lah living skill.
Kemahiran hidup.
Mesti tahu masak, bertukang, baiki pipe. So maknanya and then masa tu di Cambodia, if I'm not mistaken, dia terperangkap sebab ada perang antara puak-puak yang bersaudara tu, Khmer Rouge tu kan. So dia terperangkap sebab dia bercuti ke sana. So dia terperangkap 2 bulan dan dia boleh buka sekolah terus.
2 bulan buka sekolah.
Ya. Sebelum tu I think if I'm not mistaken dia kerja wartawan di KL lah, wartawan. So lepas tu bila dia you have to come on. It's so inspiring. Kalau dia start bercakap kan macam dah tak,
kita kena content.
You're in awe macam tu. Sebab cerita dia banyak and cara dia look at things macam different.
How old is he?
He should be 60 plus lah sekarang.
Okay.
Last I think when I
and still active
still teaching.
Bagus ya.
Itulah memang sangat bagus. And sekarang ni anak dia Raj Ridvan Singh tu yang teruskan. Anak dia 2 orang, dia orang teruskan. Dia punya sekolah ni panggil SOLS, School of Life. School of Life.
Bukan University of Life tau. University of Life.
Tapi itulah interesting sebab mungkin pada masa tu kan masyarakat di Cambodia berpendapat yang male should get educated. Tapi dia buat syarat tu. So di mana-mana pun dia kata memang
satu lelaki, satu perempuan.
Yes.
Setiap satu lelaki yang masuk, kita ada satu perempuan juga yang masuk.
Cuma masalah ni kita tak face kat sini.
Yalah, kita kat sini I think we empowered very much in terms of the
betul. Sebab last year when I spoke dekat Dubai pun, my topic was STEM in girls. Girls in STEM, dia kata 50-50 participation. So kita punya statistic shows that at school level sampai tertiary level 70%.
Betul.
Cuma workforce tak. Terbalik. Workforce 30% perempuan, 70%. Maknanya ada berlaku ketirisan kat situ.
Dia macam bila someone dah start
having a family,
jaga anak, semua sanggup berhenti semua tu kan. I think I have also my student sekarang ni a successful boutique owner instead of like mechanical engineer kan. I think she's appearing today rasanya. Sekejap lagi dekat Nona,
Oh, okay. That's
Wah.
awesome. Tapi benda ni sebenarnya even in UK and Australia okay. The Australia very good sebab dia memang buka peluang yang sama rata. Tapi di UK tak. And it was surprising.
Even in US pun dia kata macam contohnya not many women take up engineering.
Betul. Even in school level pun is more towards the male
Male-centric lah.
Yeah, it's not balanced lah actually. Cuma lucky lah dekat Malaysia kita punya peluang berbeza.
Okay, Cikgu Min.
Okay.
Okay.
So thank you very much. Terima kasih banyak-banyak sekali lagi from
welcome.
Sekolah Malaysia.
Okay, terima kasih. Don,
InsyaAllah
Dr. Azli.
nanti kita boleh ada session lagi ni.
Okay.
Banyak lagi kita boleh digest lagi dalam-dalam.
Alright.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Please
subscribe,
jangan lupa
comment and share.
comment and share.
Siapa next guest? Kena suggest dekat ruang komen. Alright. Bye.